All right, so I'm tripping off this book. This book is called Old Thot Next Door by Quinn Millers. Millers. This audiobook is hilarious. It's about this old thot that's going around having sleeping with all like the young thugs in the neighborhood. She's 76 years old. A 76-year-old like great grandmama getting freaked out by thugs in the hood. This book is hilarious. Let me go ahead and play this. This is a chapter. This is the chapter where she goes out like on a blind date. This is hilarious.
Chapter 3. Just what I thought. My worst fear was confirmed. This blind date was a hot-ass mess. Baby, I was ready to curse Alice to the high heavens. I just knew this no-good bitch was lying her motherfucking ass off. We hadn't even been at the lounge for an hour and I was ready to go. Baby, I was pissed. You hear me? Me, Alice, her cousin Samantha, and these three other guys, Nathaniel, Gerald, and Robert, were sitting down at the table inside this stiff-ass lounge. As all five of them smacked on chicken wings and threw spaghetti in their mouths, I sat there quiet and occasionally sipped on some water. As they conversed amongst each other, I was so terribly disgusted as I stared at my blind date Gerald through the corner of my eye. Although he was sitting to my left, I hadn't said a word to him the entire time we'd been here. I swear, part of me was just ready to pop off on Alice right then and there, but I knew I had to keep my cool. Plus, I didn't get down like that. Perhaps Alice didn't know how this guy looked, but I had a feeling her big ugly ass knew all along how the nigga looked. From the moment I was introduced to him, I was completely turned off. My pussy dried up within seconds. Got drier than the damn Sahara. Ha! 48 my ass. Child, them dark circles and that big-ass pregnant belly of his let me know that nigga was pushing at least 60. Maybe a good 30 years ago he looked good, but his apparent age was definitely a turnoff. He reminded me so much of my deceased husband, Clarence. He was light-skinned, had light green hazel eyes, and visible streaks of gray throughout his hot-top fade. I caught another quick glance at him, and just looking at this slimy-ass nigga, I knew his black ass wasn't no goddamn 48. Fat motherfucker looked at least 68. Hell, I was damn near 78 and I looked better than his ass. As some horrible-ass male waiter song blared from the club speakers, I sat back in my seat with my arms folded, silent, staring off at the thick crowd dancing on the dance floor. "You mighty quiet over there," said James. Although he was old as hell too, he looked like he was in better shape than Gerald. Robert kind of reminded me of Billy D. Williams, minus the permed hair. I was never into Billy D. like that. There was always something off about that man. Anyways, I glanced over at James and produced the fakest smile I could. "I'm just taking in the scene, that's all," I replied, and then threw my eyes back onto the dance floor. "You don't want to eat no chicken? They got good wings." Gerald laughed, smacking loudly on those over-sauced and probably over-fried chicken wings. There was nothing more embarrassing than sitting next to a bunch of old-ass niggas, listening to them smack on greasy-ass wings and reminisce about shit that happened 30 and 40 years ago. "She just a little tired," Alice said. "Them shots hitting you hard, Vanita?" I looked over at her trifling ass. "Girl, I had half a shot, and this is water I'm sipping on now. I'm fine." I couldn't take the bullshit no more. From the gawk on Alice's face, I guess she sensed I wasn't in the mood and wasn't feeling this Gerald nigga at all. She looked at me and said, "Yeah, I gotta use the bathroom too. I'll follow you." "Don't y'all be in there too long. We got some dancing to do." "I'm gonna request the DJ to play some Luther." Gerald chuckled. My eyes grew big, but I had to catch myself and quickly walk off. Luther? Hell to the no. Somebody better put some Trick Daddy or Future on. Got me all the way fucked up. Strolling off to the bathroom, I made my way through the thick crowd on the dimly lit dance floor. Although the dating game was not that big of an establishment, there had to be at least 100 people crammed up in here. All black folks. Old-ass black folks, too. No one looked younger than 50. Excuse me. I politely said when I rudely cut past this old-ass couple dancing to that stale-ass Mare Water song. Although I hadn't said a word to her, I knew Alice was trailing me. Ooh, baby, you better believe she was gonna get it as soon as I made my way inside the bathroom. And as soon as I made it inside the bathroom, I went straight to one of the sinks and ran the water cold. You got me fucked up, Alice. You really do. I spat as I sprinkled some drops on my face to wake me the fuck up. What's your problem, girl? Why you acting all funny and shit? That is so wrong. Robert is nice looking and is right up your alley. Alice said back to me as she stood off to the side. Guilt was written all over her face. 48? Child, that man is not 48. You played me. You played me big time. I'm so fucking mad at you right now, I exclaimed as I turned the faucet off. Okay, so I lied a little bit. I knew if I told you his real age, you wouldn't come out. I'm just trying to hook you up with someone a bit more in your lane, that's all. My face suddenly twisted in shock. My lane? Girl, I don't need you to help me find someone in my lane. Truth be told, I only came out to support you. I was trying to help you find a man. I don't need no damn man. All I want is dick and that's it. And not no old limp, need 5 Viagra shrimp dick either. That man probably can't even see his dick. His stomach is so big, nigga look like he's pregnant with triplets. I looked in the mirror and saw this young chocolate woman emerging from one of the stalls. She had a huge smirk on her face and was fighting hard to contain her laughter. She walked up to one of the sinks next to me. Girl, your name must be Stella 'cause you trying to get your groove back. I lightly chuckled. No, my name Vanita and I need a big Peter. I know that's right. You remind me so much of my auntie. She was hilarious. But you look good for your age, girl. I want to look like that when I get older. A smirk came across my face. How old do you think I am? No older than 60. You hear that, Alice? Young girl guessed right. Alice huffed and shook her head, not saying anything. Anyways, I said, playfully rolling my eyes. I'm gonna leave this boring-ass club, Alice. You have your future nigga take you home. I'll be damned if I'm gonna waste my night, I said. Yeah, it is kinda dead in here. Shit, what club you going to? The young chocolate sister asked. She reminded me so much of Venus Williams, except she was a bit slimmer. My favorite club up in South Loop, Tantrum. Well, shit, let's go together. I'm Denitra, by the way. Nice to meet you, Denitra. Well, if that's the case, then I'll holler at you later, Vanita, Alice said as she spun around and headed out the bathroom. That's your friend? Yeah, she my girl, but she on some other shit tonight. Girl, let's head out so we can get there before 10. You want to ride with me? Sure. Now, any other time I went out, I usually like rolling by myself, and I didn't fuck with new bitches like that. I was way too old to make new friends. But tonight was gonna be an exception because I was getting good vibes from Miss Denitra. We made our way back onto the dance floor and cut through the crowd. This time, some R. Kelly song was playing, and all the steppers in the club were on the dance floor stepping their old asses off. I caught a glance of Alice and the rest of the group, and just like some typical-ass old folks, they were sitting back in their seats looking full and tired from all that food they just ate. Where's your car? Denitra asked as we made it out into the dimly lit parking lot. Girl, over there. I'm in the red drop-top Mustang, I said, pointing over to Paulette. Damn, sis, that's you? Yes, girl. Paulette is my baby. Paulette? You got a name for her and everything? Girl, you seem like a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you show out on this club floor. I smiled as I was completely flattered. Watch and see. Baby, I can keep up with you young folks. Suddenly, I felt my phone vibrating in my pocketbook. I reached inside and glanced at the phone number, which I didn't completely recognize. Who is this calling me? I mumbled to myself. I swiped right on my iPhone. Hello? Who is this? Bitch, where the fuck you at? The deep voice replied. All of a sudden, I got nervous as hell. Excuse me? I replied, clutching my chest. And who are you? I think you got the wrong phone number. Bitch, don't play no fucking games with me. Vanita, you better have your motherfucking ass back at the crib in 20 minutes or I'ma kill your motherfucking ass. Okay, I'll be there in 20 minutes. I'm just right around the corner. Yeah, you better be, bitch. Got me fucked up. I hung up the phone and threw a fake polite smile at Denitra. Listen, girl, I hate to do this, but that was my son on the phone. He got into a bad car wreck and he needs me to come pick him up from the hospital. Oh my God, no. I'm so sorry to hear that, Miss Vanita. Is everything all right? Yeah, he just got a little scratch on his head. That's all. I didn't recognize his voice at first. He sounds like he needs me. Oh, okay. Well, it was nice meeting you. Maybe one day we'll run into each other again and we can hang out. You seem cool. Yes, girl. Let's exchange numbers. After Denitra and I exchanged numbers, I hopped into my Mustang and expeditiously made my way back home. Gulping and completely racked with terror, I had already recognized who this was on the phone. It was my husband. My other husband, Percy.
What?
But at this time of night, there was absolutely nowhere safe I could stop other than a gas station to change, and I'd be damned if I was going to do that. I felt kind of bad for having to lie to Denitra. She really did seem like a nice girl. However, I had no other choice but to get back home in a timely fashion. Otherwise, Percy was definitely going to put his hands on me. Some 10 or 11 minutes later, after breaking all the damn speed laws in the city of Chicago, I made it quickly back to my townhouse. I pulled into my driveway, and there Percy was, standing there smoking a square, smoke pouring from his nostrils. My throat and chest got tight. I quickly turned the car off and got out. I slowly trekked up to him as his beady eyes latched on to me. When you got out? I asked as I held tight to my purse. I thought you weren't getting released until next month. Bitch, you knew I was getting out today. Why the fuck you kept ignoring my phone calls? I forgot, baby. I swear I did. What's today? Friday? You know I'm up in age. I be forgetting things now. I lied as I stood there nervous more than ever. Yeah, I knew Percy was getting out of prison today, but I had been avoiding him for some weeks now. He was the one who was calling me earlier before I had that dig-down session with Markel and his buddy. Now, you might be wondering, how in the hell do I have a second husband? Well, let me explain. See, right before Clarence passed away, I had been creeping around. Percy was actually my first side nigga that I had met some years back. Funny how we met, too. He was a CNA working for a long-term care facility out in Oaklawn, a suburb touching the city. When Clarence got ill, the doctors had recommended he move into that nursing facility to have 24/7 support. Percy and I started off as friends at first. Although he was a CNA by day, he was a certified street nigga at night. I used to buy weed from him on the side to help me deal with all the stress and bullshit with Clarence being sick. 6 months later, as Clarence's condition continued to deteriorate, Percy and I became closer. Well, you already know how stories like this went. One night, after I was in a tiff about some other personal stuff, Percy invited me out to go have a drink with him. And, well, a few drinks later, I was back at his apartment, slurping and riding his big, thick, veiny anaconda. Let me tell you, though, child, this boy got some dick, you hear me? A year after our little entanglement, Percy's crazy ass ended up getting locked up and serving 6 years down in Joliet prison for armed robbery. While he was locked up, I was still missing my baby, and I made the stupid decision to get married to him. Nobody actually knew about this, and now I kind of regretted doing it. You might also be wondering just exactly how old Mr. Percy is. Well, you already know how I gets down. Percy just turned 38, and when I met him, he was just turning 32.
Damn.
But now that I had the opportunity to get a real good look at him, I was turned off by his looks. Prison really did age him. Although he wasn't even 40 yet, prison added an additional 10 years to him. Thankfully, he still had a nice little frame to him. He was still tall and sturdy, looking just like my chocolate Hollywood crush Wesley Snipes. Percy had a gold grill in his mouth and long dreads flowing down his neck. But boy, he must have had some sleepless nights in prison because he had some dark circles under his eyes. Out of nowhere, Percy lunged at me and grabbed me by my throat. You cheating on me with another nigga, ain't you? Bitch, don't be lying to me. Percy, let me go. Don't do this right here. You're gonna get the cops called on us. I screamed to the top of my lungs. Fuck the motherfucking police. Bitch, I ain't afraid of going back to prison. Oh, Lord. This boy was gonna have Chicago police at my door at any moment if the neighbors heard us arguing. Calm down, baby.
This is some crazy shit. What kind of hood shit is this? This is Quan Mills. This is the author of this. This is wow. This is called Old Thot Next Door. I guess it's supposed to be. Is this supposed to be like? Is it supposed to be like a serious book, or is this like comedy? Is this supposed to be like a romantic? This is like one of them romantic hood books that they have. These romantic hood romance novels. I don't know. What do y'all? This shit is crazy, man. What do y'all think about this shit, man? Old Thot Next Door. What y'all think about this book? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel.